This field has everything that it needs to grow whatever it is that the farmer decides to grow here. There is a possibility that there might be bugs, things that get in and, interfere with the process. But inherently, what the world needs, what this particular environment needs to produce at the highest level is already supplied. It's already here. And it's waiting for the farmer to plant the seed. And then to do what needs to be done to bring that to fruition. I think weeding should be one of the least things that we should do. I think that in the best world, we should not have to get rid of bad thoughts or limiting thoughts. But I also think in the reality that we live in, getting rid of limiting thoughts has to happen because we've all got lots of them. Have you ever tried to not think of something? You know what happens, right? That's the first thing you think about. And so weeding this plot, weeding this field, would be equivalent to trying to not think of something in the prosperity field. But what if you brought in a natural predator to take care of, the aphids or the invasive thing that you have? That natural predator would do what it's supposed to do naturally and take care of business. So in the teaching of prosperity, one of the things that we need to do is we need to replace any thought of lack and limitation with a thought of abundance or with a thought of blessing. You cannot hold two contradictory thoughts in your mind at the same time. You cannot think of lack and limitation and think of abundance at the same time. And I know for myself, I would much rather think abundance than lack and limitation. Though, I know there have been many times in my life when I believed more in my limitation than I did in my possibility. When you're in the natural world, one of the things that I notice anyway in the natural world is how the natural world functions, how trees and grass and birds and fish and everything, how they make their choices about their life. And the secret is they actually don't make choices. They do exactly what they're programmed to do. They do exactly what they do so that every salmon is a perfect salmon. Every red-winged blackbird is a perfect expression of red-winged blackbird being what it is. This grass that's beside us, if the wind comes along and blows it down, it doesn't say to itself, oh my God, I hope I can get back up again. It just gets up, right? Or the tree doesn't stop and say, I'm only growing leaves on this side of me this year, right? It doesn't limit its possibility to have a full life. We do. We're the ones who make choices about how prosperous we will be, based on a whole bunch of programming. But in the bottom line, it's always about my choice. And so the more I look at the natural world, the more I look at the natural world doing what the natural world does, I'm reminded of the fact that we live in a world of absolute abundance. Ernest Holmes says, and inspired by his teacher, Thomas Troward, that there are enough fish that if there were not a natural process of elimination, would literally choke the seas. There would be no space because they just keep doing what fish do. We are endowed with choice. And so we get to choose to be less joyful, less healthy, less self-realized, less prosperous. And it always boils down to choice. I am not here to get stuff. I am here to become the person for whom that level of prosperity, joy, love is a natural outcome. that means I have to change something about me. I have to change my consciousness to be able to attract what it is that I want. If I had the consciousness to be that, I would have it. But because I don't have it is a flawless indicator to me that I don't have the consciousness for it. So what do? Do I try and go and get that? Or do I look inside and go, what is it about me that needs to shift, change, grow, mature, whatever, in order to be the attractor for that? I can hear the birds twittering. There you go, my favorite sound. That red-winged blackbird knows itself as an expression of what I would call God. It knows itself as that. That song is how it expresses itself as God. We could solve all of our problems in life if we knew ourselves as God knows us. But because I know myself as limited, lost, frightened, lonely, any of the things that we claim, because I know myself as that, the universe, God, responds to me by saying, is that your truth? Is that where you are today? Then I have no option but to give you that. But when you know yourself as more, then I will support you in that. I will give you the kingdom. You know, Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is spread out upon the earth, and people don't see it. It's true. We don't.